Okay, so first I have to say good job because it was another awesome weekend of the people meeting. And like we keep saying, it's the key demographic that we need out front this time. Like, this is so key in what we're doing. And I'm so proud of y'all for continuing to show up. Keep going, keep pushing, get your friends, get other folks. Look, on our subscriber card poll, we pulled Only Love Remains, which is it's memories, right? Correlations between past and future. So whether there's something going on right now that's a missed lesson that applies to something that happened before, or whether it's closure from the past that's going to happen now, whatever, that sort of thing, to just kind of be sensitive to that. And we are at a point where a lot of folks, even if they don't want to admit things to themselves, because we pulled two cards. So the other one was the vulnerability fight, which is putting your cards on the table. So we are at this point where a lot of people are looking back, realizing some mistakes that they made, and we need to push them to the point where they are willing to actually go ahead, admit it, put their cards on the table, and join us. So, and it's happening bigger and bigger and bigger. If you have any doubt, just look at the fact that Team Red is no longer doing town halls at all, per a directive from their main headquarters, because it's just not going well. And it's not going well because they're doing things like, I don't know, realizing that everything they proposed is already unpopular. So they're doubling down and adding horrible things like, let's defund the blue bacon. And I'm not a blue bacon fan, but the way they keep going after their key groups of supporters is interesting. Like, sorry, this thing keeps going down. They're going after, going after veterans. Big mistake. Big mistake on that one. You want to talk about silent majority? Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. 99% of the time, the people who run around with Vichrin, they got it on their hat and their shirt and their truck, and they park in the disabled spot and it's the flags everywhere. Usually those ones are the people who did 2.5 seconds at a desk job and never saw a battle. They were half inactive fucking 30 years ago, and that's their whole personality now. I know a bunch of those right now. I know young ones that are fresh out from the last 10 years, and that's their whole personality is the 3 years they were active, okay? But for most of them, for most of the veterans, they don't talk about it like that. It's not their personality. It's not their identity. It's the career people. The ones that did this. Dang it, I need a new thingy. Hang on. The people who spent career, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, people who went to repeat battle, people who are on front lines, people who did counter-terrorism. Like, these are the people in my circles. Okay, the people in my circles are tactical. And they do not, it's not on their cars. They don't wear it on a hat. They don't wear their patch jackets everywhere. The only people who even know the extent of what they've done are people on their inner circles. And they have other lives. They're doing federal work, government work, DOD contracting, like that part of their life is done. Those are the ones that people are forgetting about. Those politicians that are like, yeah, forget the vets. They're forgetting about all those able-bodied ones that are smart, working, and haven't made it their whole personality. Those are the ones who are about to come out, and those are the ones they need to be scared of, because those are the ones with a particular set of skills that are still DOD adjacent. So that's going to be interesting. You want a little hopium? They're pissing off the tactical group, and we need that. We like that. So go ahead, keep pissing off the vets. Keep doing it. All right, I need a new stand. This one keeps like sinking slowly. So anyway, so they're pissing off them. They're pissing off any union laborers. That includes blue bacon, firefighters, just about any labor job. I mean, they're going after the core of the working class and just pissing off one group after another, defunding one group after another, proclaiming they're finding fraud and they're cutting things, except for their deficit keeps growing. So I don't know what they're saving and where all the fraud is. It's definitely, that separate video. I also want to talk about the continued Tesla issues. Okay, the stock being down, almost 40% from what it was last year. The continued participation of people targeting the dealerships and the charging stations. And yes, I know there are always folks that are going to go, it's not fair to punish the people who didn't know. If you have a Cybertruck, you know. Okay? If you have a Cybertruck, you know. I'm sorry, didn't you say empathy is the problem? It's funny how they're like, empathy is the problem. Okay, good. I have no empathy for you when your Cybertruck gets what it deserves when it's sitting on the middle of the street. And suddenly now they understand empathy again, right? It's empathy. They're fine with empathy when it's protecting their car, but they don't want empathy for human life. Just let that marinate for a little bit.